Good morning. Welcome to the most underrated show on YouTube. I did just thumbs down my own stream. Yes, I did. So I wrote in the chat, thumbs up for Biogen approval. If you think it's going to be approved, thumbs down for denial. Yeah, talk about being a troll. Got that right. Alrighty. Welcome, guys. Good morning. Back, rearing, ready to go on Monday. So the big news, of course, of the day, of the entire market, of the entire day is Biogen. But before we get on to Biogen, everyone's talking about this. My favorite investor, absolutely my favorite investor, Bill Ackman. I mean, outside of Warren Buffett and Howard Marks and this and that, one of my favorite big-time names out there. Excuse me. Pershing Square, Bill Ackman. They just took a 10% stake in Universal Music. Most things that Bill Ackman touches turn out pretty well for him. So we're going to see what happens. I know a lot of you guys are invested in Pershing Square from what I can tell. So you guys, a lot of you are saying you like the deal. I don't really know a lot about the deal. I just know that they're taking a 10% stake. So let's see what happens with that. What are the markets doing on this lovely Monday morning? Pretty much flat, nothing doing. But let's get into the Biogen stuff. So where's Biogen 1? Biogen 1. So for those of you that don't know, and there's a lot of highlighting in here because there's a lot of stuff to talk about. So, and by the way, there's a story. So this drug that Biogen is working on is for Alzheimer's disease. It's the sixth, according to somewhere that I read, it's the sixth biggest leading cause of death in the United States. I don't know if that's true. I'm sure it is. But there is not an effective treatment out there, and there has not been a drug approved by the FDA for Alzheimer's in over 20 years. Now, the tough part about Alzheimer's is you cannot really study the brain until the person passes away and there's an autopsy. So the idea of stopping these protein plaques from being created that's the goal in all of this. Now, Biogen is in there trying to revert the plaques from happening, but the ideal situation is to be to prevent the plaques from happening. That treatment is not out there. So Lilly Livestock, what is up? I tried to find you in the chat yesterday and you wouldn't answer me. So, all right. The FDA Monday is expected to give a thumbs up or thumbs down to Biogen's drug aducanumab, which is the name of the drug, a decision which will affect the future of Alzheimer's disease treatment and the agency's willingness to approve badly needed medicines based on less than definitive data. So the data that's coming out on aducanumab is not the strongest, but the argument to be made is there's nothing for the treatment of Alzheimer's. So is something better than nothing? They were supposed to be approved back in 2020, approved or denied back in 2020, didn't happen. They were supposed to be approved on March 7th of 2021, didn't happen. The FDA called for a delay. And then today's June 7th, and they did not push the delay. So we're going to see what happens with that. The FDA is under pressure from advocacy groups of Alzheimer's, while many experts say huge amounts of money will be spent despite the lack of compelling evidence of aducanumab for meaningful benefit. So there's a lot of there's a lot of physicians out there that are saying this drug is going to cost $20,000 to $50,000 for treatment. Now, yes, that's a lot of money. In the grand scheme of things, and for a disease like this, $20,000 to $50,000 is not a lot. There's chemotherapies out there that are in the hundreds of thousands of dollars for treatment. With that said, though, there's a lot of physicians making the argument that $20,000 to $50,000 does not justify the efficacy of the treatment. That's a valid argument. I read that there's a massive Alzheimer's group somewhere in the country. They're one of the leading hospitals. They said that none of their physicians will use the drug even if it is approved, and that is the reason. Also, a lot of these patients have some kind of protein deficiency or protein abnormality, and which causes brain bleeds for the patient. So not only could the drug not be effective, it could have other ramifications, such as brain bleeds, which would just be a travesty. So a rejection would likely spell the end of aducanumab and possibly sound the final death knell for the experimental drug. And let's see here. Aducanumab, so what it aims to do, like I said in the beginning, these sticky deposits called amyloid betas from the brain of patients in the early stages of Alzheimer's. So basically what Alzheimer's is, I'm sure some of you know, is there's proteins that become sticky, and that's the issue that it's caused. If you want to go, and it causes memory loss and such. So there's no way to prevent those. Science has not been able to figure that one out. But like I said, the only way to start doing this is if you can't examine the brain while somebody's alive, frankly. You have to wait to do an autopsy. And at that point, you still don't know how to prevent it. That's the issue. You could see the damage that was done, but you don't know how to prevent it. So aducanumab study resulted in a statistically significant 23% benefit, that slowing declines in cognition and daily function compared to the placebo. So that's rather low number. And they had this is the second large study failed in March of 19. That's when their stock price crashed. Now let's just go back to internal bleeding is overrated. God, you're really something, Beaker. So I pulled up this story. This is pretty much the consensus, everything I'm seeing on market seeking alpha and such. Biogen shares could climb to 400 if it is approved, and it could drop to 175 to 200 if rejected. Right now, I think it's currently at $300 a share in the pre-market. And yeah, so that's Biogen for you. So let's see what you guys are saying. You could do a straddle on Biogen. For me, I'm not touching it. And if you want to do something with it, I would say go ahead and day trade it, because you're going to get a big move one way or the other, in my opinion. Do you have any insight on Russia decentralizing our dollar and removing? No, not right now. Let's see here, and they got accepted. Let's see. I don't know if that's true or not. Let's see what Biogen is doing. I'm sure their top trending ticker. Dun, 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 dun. Gains before anticipated FDA decision. I don't see Boone. I don't see that. But that's it for Biogen. So if you own it, be careful. I own puts on it. I sold puts on it, and we'll see what happens from there. Now let's see where we're gonna go next. I'm gonna go here. So this is an interesting op-ed from Mark Hulbert, MarketWatch. The S&P would be below 1,600 without these three pillars, and those supporting whatever. Stock prices can indefinitely grow faster than the economy. Look at this stat right here. Over the past decade, for example, the S&P on an inflation-adjusted total returns basis has outperformed real U.S. GDP by an annualized margin of basically 12% to 2%. So he said that these are the three pillars. Valuation changes. The S&P's price-to-earnings ratio has doubled over the past decade. Increased profit margins. The S&P 500's operating margin over the past 4 quarters has averaged nearly 2 percentage points higher than it was a decade ago, according to data from Howard Silverblatt. That's a cool name. Senior, okay. And this is the big one, guys. Remember, stock buybacks are fine if they're done at the right time for the right reasons. The big thing that we've been having is a lot of these companies are doing massive, massive amounts of stock buybacks at times when you should not be doing stock buybacks. We're having companies that are just incredibly overpriced and overvalued, and then they're doing the stock buyback. So not ideal. Smash the like button for me, guys. That's that. Okay, let's see. Here's the last one. Over the past decade, corporations have repurchased more shares than shares have been issued. This has reduced the number of shares outstanding and increased the earnings per share. To appreciate the impact of these three factors, consider that the S&P now would trade below 1,600 if there had been no change at all. Not practical, but he's just making the point. Without these three dimensions. So he kind of sounds like us in some parts of the story. The U.S. stock market future is not pretty, assuming that the U.S. economy grows at the same pace over the next decade as the last. In that case, the only way that the market could produce annualized returns greater than the low single digits is for PE ratio and profit margins to continue rising, or for net buybacks to continue reducing the number of shares outstanding. More likely, these three tailwinds will become headwinds. PE ratios are already at or near highs of their historical distribution, and they can't go up forever. Yeah, contrary to meme hype dorks. Profit margins are also at near record levels, as I argued earlier this week. And these are good reasons for profit margins to continue. But where was one more thing I highlighted? Bottom line. Yeah, okay. So, guys, I saw the greatest message yesterday from Tim. Actually took a screenshot of it. Somebody wrote in one of the comments, these guys don't understand what's happening. Why is everybody so obsessed with fundamentals? Those are the kind of comments that we need for this thing to end. That I couldn't believe. That was my favorite comment on YouTube in the history of Everything Money. Alrighty. So here's another one. This is a great story. You want to talk about playing the blame game and not taking personal responsibility? Elon Musk's crypto tweets have destroyed lives, says video purportedly from Anonymous. So, of course, this person's too much of a coward to come out and say it themselves. They have to dress up like this weirdo. Elon Musk has destroyed lives through irresponsible tweets that have recently roiled crypto markets, claiming some weird hacker person. Nearly a 4-minute video posted Saturday, whatever. Another narcissistic rich dude who's desperate for attention. Okay, so you're not bitter, and you clearly don't know it's constantly trolling crypto markets. Sir, if you think that one person tweeting and can move markets is somebody sending out a tweet shouldn't do anything. It doesn't matter who it is. This person's a moron. Millions of retail investors will really count on their crypto gains improving their lives. Kiss my ass. What the hell's this guy talking about? Of course, they took the risk upon themselves when they invested. Everybody knows to be prepared for volatility in crypto, but your tweets this week show a clear disregard of the average working person. Man, if I was Elon Musk and I saw this, I would double down and just start tweeting the most absurd things about crypto and this and that. You may think you're the smartest person in the room. Now you have met your match. We are Anonymous. We are Legion. Expect us. Sweet. These people are losers. All right. Speaking of these noobs, Interactive Brokers founder says the problem with AMC Entertainment memes, people will lose a very substantial amount of money. It's going to happen. When the music stops for meme stocks, investors could be looking at big losses, warns Thomas Peter Fye, founder of chairman of Interactive Brokers. I actually like this guy. Let's see here. Assets powered higher on social media sentiment and not on fundamentals is that novice investors will be saddled with real losses like AMC. I read somebody wrote somebody lost 100,000 on AMC and they're like, yep, we're just going to keep holding it and keep moving on. It's incredible. Tell us about the crypto conference you went to in Tucson this weekend. Massive Polkadot coin prediction. My Polkadot. Yeah, I'll save that one for the end. Polkadot coin. I did go to a crypto convention this weekend so I can better understand crypto. And it's very entertaining. I was a little bit disappointed, though, when Elon kept swinging the price of the crypto when I was there. And yeah, I was just, there was so much, there was not very much service, so I couldn't really sell a lot of my crypto when I needed to when Elon tweeted. So that got a little bit frustrating inside of the convention center. But I'll give you my Polkadot crypto in a second. That's called a tease for those of you not in the business. All right. Basically, what this guy is saying is these people are going to lose. Enough sour meme stuff, cover pins. Calvin, I don't know what you want me to talk about from pins. Pinterest has a class action lawsuit because of securities fraud from their executives. There you go. I don't know what else to tell you. This happens every day. Go look at every single company. You're going to see it. All right. Next, state of everything after the Friday's jobs number. So I wasn't able to talk about the Friday's jobs number because I was not here. But we came in creating, 500 some odd jobs, 567,000 jobs or something like that. I can't remember the exact number, but it still came in under estimates. Now, I do think that June and July, we will see more jobs coming back. But like this person in this story said, The report wasn't bad, but unfortunately it fell short of the expectation, which was 675,000. There were a million expected in April, so it still falls really short of that one. It's good, not great. Of course, it's good getting them back. Adding 500,000 jobs is a solid pace of growth, but we will need to keep this tempo for some time to get the semblance of the pre-pandemic. It's going to happen. I do think it's going to happen, and especially in June and July. And remember, guys, the consumer price index number comes out on Thursday. That's going to be your kind of guide to inflation and whatnot, and we'll go from there. Apple. WWDC 21 is today, Worldwide Developer Conference. So Apple's going to give some insight at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, 10 Pacific, to some of their new operating systems: iOS, macOS, watchOS, iPadOS, tvOS, all the OSs. So I'm excited for iOS 15. I'm an Apple fanboy dork. So this guy, Dan Ives, he expects to see new privacy projections, notifications, lock screen updates, and this is one I'm excited for: new features in iMessage. So I really like some aspects of WhatsApp, some aspects of Signal, and I don't have Facebook, so I don't use Facebook Messenger, but I'm sure it's pretty good because it's pretty much the same thing as WhatsApp. And we're gonna see what they come out with. So they're also expected to come out with MacBook Pros that are 14 inches and 16 inches in size, driven by the M1 chips. Maybe the M1X chip is going to come out. He predicts these Apple glasses will come out next summer, and then 2024 for the car. I can't wait to see that car. Anyone else see the rumor that Amazon may do a split? I have not seen that rumor. All right. Mo, will you trade Biogen with us today? I can, yeah. If the news comes out and I'm on my computer, I'll day trade Biogen. I have no problem with that. That would be kind of fun. All right, Janet Yellen. Here we go, guys. We gotta flip the script. Now we gotta make everybody think that something different than they've been saying for the last however long. All right. Janet Yellen says higher interest rates would be a plus now. So now after all these years of saying that we need zero interest rates, Janet Yellen was the one who kicked off these zero interest rates. The drive towards zero interest rates. Now, increasing interest rates would be a good thing. Okay. I mean, I agree, but it's just she totally switched her talking point. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, former chairman of the Fed before Jerome Powell, said in an interview Sunday that higher interest rates would be a plus for policymakers. Speaking at the Bloomberg, Yellen said it's okay if Joe Biden's $4 trillion spending plan triggers inflation and higher rates. If we end up with slightly higher interest rate environment, it would actually be a plus for society's point of view and the Fed's point of view. Oh, cool. That's new. We've been fighting inflation that's too low and interest rates that are too low now for a decade. We want them to go back to a normal environment. And if you're going to do that, then you have to stop your absurd amount of spending. I mean, I was talking to somebody this weekend. They say that we have $30 trillion in debt. Frankly, I don't believe that's the real number. That's not even including the number that's not even including the 12 plus trillion dollars that we've seen in that's not even including the 12 plus trillion dollars that we've seen in stimulus money. Now this spending bill from the current administration on infrastructure and whatnot. I mean, we're $40 trillion plus in the hole. They just don't want to include that in the numbers. I mean, it's not like it's going to get paid back. Well, allegedly it'll get paid back. The Fed said it won't start scaling back its $120 billion a month asset purchases until the economy has made substantial further progress towards the Fed's goals of full employment and the stable run towards 2% inflation. So, yeah. I just think it's interesting. I don't care what they do. I do think, I mean, she's right. She's absolutely right that increasing the interest rates would be good. I just don't necessarily think it's going to happen. So let's see. All right. That's it. So you guys, we have 10 minutes left. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. We could talk about more Biogen if you're interested. If you're not interested, we don't have to talk about that. Let's see here. What is going on? Okay, so Biogen's pulling back a touch, but I don't think we have a decision yet. The Fed will resist rates going up because the government can't afford it. Can you imagine the federal government paying 5% on 30 plus trillion? I mean, right now they're paying, what are they paying now? Let's just look. They're paying 1.56, let's call it 1.6% interest on their debt. So guys, smash the like button for me. Kevin, I'm not going to do that stock right now just because I'll do it for everybody in the Bid and Ask Nation. The Fed needs to lower. Yeah. So eventually the rates will be lowered. I mean, the rates benefit rates being around zero benefit the Fed. I don't know. We're just gonna have to see what happens. Yes, Neil, plug is still on the watch list. Okay, NVIDIA. Oh, nice little run on NVIDIA. Let's see what we got here. So we have it. Yeah, kind of did a couple sweet spot reversals. Nice uptrend. Great volume. Guys, when I talk about good volume consistently, this is good volume right here. Surpassing that yellow line right there coming through the middle. That's your average volume, and it's surpassing it every day. It's not gapping up in price. It's actually making engulfing candlesticks up in price. This is great. This is a very good look at stock that you would want to be in some capacity. Very good. Whoever picked this one out. Dun, dun, dun. Pull up Biogen if you have time. Of course I have time. I always have time for you, Gianni. All right, let's see what the dizzle is with Biogen. So Biogen gapped up this morning a little bit. Yeah, I mean, let's move out so I could show you guys Biogen. Let me pull up a full screen of this long-term chart. Let's do. Okay. So this is going back. This is a 2-year chart. So this right here was aducanumab. This was aducanumab. This big drop was aducanumab. This big gain was aducanumab. Gain, aducanumab. Gain, then drop, aducanumab. So this is all this drug. So this is why when I say things like, from an investor standpoint, I really want to own Biogen. I think it's a great company. They have a great pipeline and such. My problem is I can't deal with this. I mean, these are like 50% drops. This thing went from $360 a share to $260 a share. This is absurd. Or what was this? $220 a share. This is absurd based on a drug that is really not going to have that much influence on the company's balance sheets and revenues. So from a selfish investor standpoint, I do not want this. I just want this drug to be over with. In my ideal world, the drug would not. It would fail. The FDA would fail it. Biogen could come back to reality of like $175 a share, and I could buy shares and just be happy and not have to worry about 50% swings in a day. Now, from a patient perspective and from what I want for patients, I hope this drug succeeds, and I hope that all these physicians figure it out and it can do something for the treatment, because there's a lot of people that are affected by Alzheimer's, and having some kind of treatment out there would be phenomenal. But this is lunacy that this is happening to a company the size of Biogen. I mean, what's their market cap? $43 billion, and you're swinging 30% in a day? I mean, this is absurd. It's not like this company is acting like a company where you have one drug like that Ocugen, and it's just one drug, and either they make it or they don't make it. I mean, you want to see, let's see, Biogen pipeline. Let's look what Biogen has just for S's and giggles. Look at this. All of these drugs are in their pipeline. Granted, some are in phase 1, but look how many are in phase 3. You have one in phase 4. Oh, it's a biosimilar. Interesting. But yeah, look at all these drugs in phase 3. These drugs in phase 2. It's nuts. It's just nuts for a company to swing like that. All right. Um, yeah, treatment would be phenomenal. I really hope that it works. For the sake of patients, that would just be phenomenal. All right. Let's see. Tecfidera. I love that name. I love that name. Okay, let's see what we got here. Sens. What is Sens? All right, so Sens is it 50%y? Nah, a little bit. Not really. I mean, you have had this fall, but lucky for you, you haven't had any gaps down, so that's a good thing. Now, you're coming up very nicely through the sweet spot. I do not like your overall volume, but this volume is coming in strong, and you've cleared your 100-day moving average. So Sens is actually probably something that you can keep a watch on if you want to. This is a good-looking stock. I don't know who said that, but Bearded Wonder, I'm telling you, if you keep looking at AU every single day, you're going to drive yourself crazy. It is a 3 to 5 year play. Unless you're trading it, if you're trading it and you want to be trading gold and dealing with all these gaps every single day with what the dollar does, this and that, then you can exit your position. But I'm telling you, these are 3 to 5 years. Buy them and look at them down the road. And same thing with GDX, GDXJ. Any kind of gold thing, to me, contrary to popular belief, is a hedge against inflation and chaos. Even though Bitcoin is the new hedge against inflation, but not for me. Actually, it kind of is for me since I went to the conference this weekend in Arizona. And I looked at Polkadot crypto. And yeah, Polkadot cryptos, I think that'll be around 200,000 a share or a coin, whatever you call it. Sarcasm. So, I would never go to Arizona this time of year. It's so hot. They had a gap up back here, and then you can see that it filled the gap. So just keep an eye on it. Do I still own GDX? Yep, I own GDX. I've owned it for well over a year. So downtrend. This is actually, I'm going to give a little insight right now. This is actually on my watch list for a long position. And the reason is I think that it'll settle down right here where it's at. It'll hold the 100-day moving average, and it'll swing back up and get going towards the top side. So that's a little insight for you guys that are not in the Bidnast Nation. Those of you that are in the Bidnast Nation, you knew that. Speaking of which, I'll do a sales pitch. Here is the Bidnast Nation, everythingmoney.com wait, that's wrong. Patreon.com/everythingmoney. Everything Minions, this gets you all the software. Bidnast Nation gets you access to me, discounts on merch, access to the Discord, access to the Employed Trader series, and it's just phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. So, and that tier is only going to get better and better. So if you guys if you're interested in this kind of stuff, it's just great. Smash the like button for me real quick. I do want to look at the yields just real quick. You guys know I love looking at the Treasury yield. So the 3 months is not changing. The 10-year is declining a touch, but nothing noteworthy. So we're still staying the same. Yes, and we are giving away a Tesla in about 4,000 subscribers. I'm always doing a great job to convince us that he's not anonymous. That would be so cool if I was the guy in the Matrix looking costume. Can I do Microsoft? Sure, Bogdan, I'll do Microsoft. Can you do Microsoft? I'm exiting my short position today if it goes up. Yeah, I think that's actually a really good idea on Microsoft, Bogdan, just because your trend is about to swing over. But this is what happens. I mean, it looks like you were trying to make these M formations. This was looking really good, and then it just snapped back on you. But with these interest rate environments and the news of not increasing rates, except for what Yellen said, you can bet on these stocks going up. I mean, these have driven the market up 45 of the total 100% over the past decade. They're going to drive them higher. So the only time that I would buy Microsoft long term, like truly long term, is if you make a brand new all-time high, just because of the environment that we're in. Other than that, I wouldn't. I would only swing trade it. So If I create an amazing new logo for you, can you give me a discount? I already have a logo, but thank you. My Tesla. All right, guys. Great show. Keep an eye on Biogen today. You guys were great today. Bitcoin's going to 518,000 according to the Grand Poobah, who has one of the best names in the Discord chat. But keep an eye on Biogen today. If you're in Biogen, just have your stops in place. If you want to get involved with Biogen today, I would recommend just day trading it on a 15-minute chart. And if Biogen is approved, it's probably going to go to like $400 a share. If Biogen is denied, it's probably going to go into the mid 150s, somewhere in that range. So that's it. You guys have a great day. Join the Bid Ask Nation. And you guys smash the like button on your way out. Peace.